Hello everybody, thanks very much for tuning into my channel once again. So you may have noticed a few weeks ago I did put a walk around video up for this vehicle behind me. Unfortunately, due to some technical issues with the video, I had to take that down again and we decided to do a complete reshoot on it. There was just too much to edit out and it was just really grainy and wasn't working out. So we've decided to do it a bit differently this time. And I'll pass over to my brother Tim and he'll go over the features of this vehicle and the modifications that we've made to it to help bring it up to spec for off-road and overlanding use.
Thanks, Subi. This is our 2008 Subaru Forester SHXS Premium. Variant is a dual-range manual transmission fitted with the EJ253 engine. One of the first things you'll notice about this car is it's actually got a bull bar on it. It's made by Subaru Extreme. It's one of their sports bars. The great advantage of the Subaru Extreme bull bars are that they radically improve approach angles, and the sports bar incorporates the factory fog lights for upper spec models. Another very important modification is a sump guard for this vehicle. It's a 6mm aluminium one, and it's an absolute must-have modification for off-roading any Subaru. So we're going to go over the tyres and suspension modifications fitted to this vehicle. Firstly, we'll go with the tyres. We're running Bridgestone Jeweler 697 all-terrains. They're 50% on-road, 50% off-road. The reason we went with this choice of tyre is that they give you the best of both worlds. Usually with tyres, you either end up with something being really, really good off-road and not so great on-road, or you end up with the reverse. Being 50% on and 50% off means they're really, really good at both spectrums of driving. I found these things really solid in mud, they do great in rock, they're fantastic down fire trails, yet when you get them on wet bitumen they still grip to the road really well and they're very quiet. The other modification we've gone with is Petta's heavy duty struts and springs in standard height. The reason we didn't go with lifted, we still wanted something very heavy duty, but we wanted the ride to be a bit more compliant than typically what you get with a lifted spring. And I went with the Petta's struts because they give me a guarantee that they're not going to sag. So, as you'll notice with this vehicle in the rear, we've got a lot of clearance here between the wheel and the wheel arch. A bit of an issue with Subaru Foresters is that they do tend to sag in the back end a bit as the suspension starts to wear or get old. So one of the things we've done to combat that is we've fitted a Subi Lift Oz 2-inch front, 2.5-inch rear lift kit. That extra 1/2 inch that you can get on the spacer just helps combat that sag a bit more. So with this vehicle, we tow a camper trailer. It's a Platinum Trooper Series 1. Weight is about 1,200 kilograms fully laden. So with just having that extra bit of beefiness in the suspension is just to help combat any kind of sag that might have occurred ordinarily. And when we hitch the trailer up, it barely moves at all. It just sits nicely on the road, and off-road, by not moving down so much, means you've got a lot more clearance than you would have without the beefed up suspension, so it's not dragging its tail when it goes off-road. One of the things that's important to do before fitting a lift kit or larger tyres to your vehicle is to check your state and territory regulations. They vary differently from state to state, just to make sure that you're fitting within them. One of the often overlooked things with modifying a four-wheel drive is working on your nighttime visibility. So on this vehicle we've fitted 8-inch LED light fox lights to the front. We've also fitted a 42-inch curved light bar to the roof. This just helps light up your peripheral vision as well as giving you a little bit more beam. Being higher up gives you a little bit further distance. One of the handy things with the SH Forester is it has got this handy little groove here right along the windshield, so you can actually fit the loom straight in that little gap, so it's not ugly and hanging out everywhere, and you just plumbed it straight up there, straight to the light bar. So, under the hood. As stated earlier, the engine is an EJ253 engine, so that is a 2.5 litre naturally aspirated boxer engine. Features of this model were active valve lash adjustment. The power for this model standard is 126 kilowatt at 6,000 RPM and 229 newton meters of torque at 4,400 RPM. With our one, it's basically stock. The only real difference is that we've opted for a ECU tune, which according to the tuner puts out roughly 270 newton meters of torque from 2000 RPM to 4400 RPM. The engine is coupled to Subaru's dual range 5-speed transmission. This model features a 20% low range. It also runs a 50% front, 50% rear torque bias through a viscous coupling. and at the rear it's connected to a viscous limited slip diff. So one of the things we've done to this vehicle is we've fitted an Adventure King's 2.5 by 2.5 awning. The great advantage of having one of these fitted to your vehicle is when you're doing day trips and things like that, trips to the beach, it gives you really good shade and protection from the sun. One of the other things we've fitted to this vehicle is an Adventure King's half steel rack. These things are very solid and well put together. They have ample tie down points for where you might want to put things. As we've done here, we've put the spare wheel and our recovery tracks on. There's room to fit so much more up there if we need to, which is great for if you're trying to get more cabin space. As you can see, one of the advantages of this car is you have loads and loads of boot space. We've gone with a Waco CF60 fridge, which is a 60 litre, and it fits in here just so nicely and snug. We've also got a 12-volt power socket that comes standard on all of the Subarus, which is handy for powering your fridge. They also, as you're about to see shortly, come with loads of underfloor storage. The below deck storage in this car is extensive. You've got little pockets and things for small stuff, and you've got a massive, with the spare wheel mounted to the roof, you now have a massive amount of room here below deck. We've opted to fit our dual battery system under here, which is running an Adventure King's battery box and a 138 amp hour deep cycle battery. One of the other handy features with the boots in these cars is that you've actually got some tie down points for tying down cargo, like the fridge as you can here with an easy tie strap, or you can have a set of drawers tied down as well. It just gives you a few different options. As you can see in the back of this car, there's plenty of space for rear occupants. We've got lots of pockets for phones and purses and wallets. There's also a drink holder or a bottle holder for everybody in the back here. And as you come here as well, if I fold that seat back up, you've got an armrest that's visible. And also down here, if I fold down, you get another 2 drink holders, as well as a little table. The rear seats also recline in this car, making it very comfortable on long trips. And as you saw just before, if you don't have rear occupants, you can fold them down and it's nearly flat. As you can see in the front of the vehicle too, travelling in this car is very luxurious and comfortable. We've also opted for a unit in UHF. This is a 9080, and the other advantage of having a ball bar on the front of the vehicle is that's where the aerial's mounted, which is just a handy spot to have it. One of the things about this car as well is that it is fun and addictive to drive. You can just keep driving in it for hours and hours and you just never want to stop.
Thanks very much everybody for tuning into the channel once again. Thanks very much for your ongoing support. COVID has slowed things down a little, and certainly we didn't have the content out there that I'd hoped for you over the last few months. Hopefully that's coming to an end now and we'll be able to get out there and start getting you some more film footage, show you just what these vehicles are capable of, some of the adventures we get up to normally when we're not locked down or unable to get out. So do stick with us. Hopefully we've got some more coming very soon, including the build video on the little blue SF Forester that you've seen in other videos, getting out there and about, doing the river crossings, things like that. So we will do a full overview on that vehicle as well and everything that's done to it. But for now, thanks very much for your ongoing support. Thanks very much for subscribing down below. If you haven't already, please do hit the subscribe button down below there. Thanks for your supporting the channel, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you very much.